Welcome back to the shop. It's Sunday. Thought I'd get a little work done. I'm starting to feel a little better. Still not quite there, but I'm getting there. Got the camera kind of changed angles a little bit to see if we can do this. I've got a bunch of work to do, so thought I'd take you along for the ride while I'm doing it. Excuse me for a moment. Pulling parts out of the lathe. The bar puller that I was using just did not hold up. And so I'm having to run these parts one at a time, but that's okay. So it gives you a chance to see how things go. Playtime, yeah, kind of. The playtime that I had was early this morning. It's been raining for the last few hours. Actually, most of the stuff near me is gone. If you go just a few miles away, though, like I'm just past where all that stuff happened. They got 10 inches of snow, 10 inches of snow, and we got a couple inches and now rain. What's going to make this really bad is actually overnight it's going to freeze. So all of this snow, all the precip that came on top of it, all that rain on top of it, it's all going to freeze. We're just going to get this great big sheet of ice, but should be interesting. Yeah, Eric, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to come over this morning. Well, if it's cleared up tomorrow night, maybe you can come by. Or, excuse me, you can always share your file. I can cut it, and then we can go from there. So if you want to get your prototype done, we can do it that way. So yeah, that's today. That's I'm just sitting out here, got the lathe running. Hopefully it's not too much background noise. And I'm making magnets. I upped my game a little bit here, starting to run it and put parts in. So yeah, hoping to get a couple dozen sets out the door today. These things are selling a lot faster than I was expecting. So if you're not aware, I make magnets, and so I've got a small size and a large size, and yeah, actually, so these two sets are getting ready to get shipped out. Got my little shipping station over here. It's out of camera angle, but got my little Dymo printer now, and got bags and wet hats. It's been a fun day. Yeah, so that's the rain previous. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Sorry, there's a lot going on, and there is a delay when you guys see what I say or hear what I say versus when I said it. So you may see a slight delay when we're, if you put a chat in there. All right. Of course, it's not gonna let me run with the door open. There we go. Yeah, so I use things like these little stop gauges. Makes it real nice. Makes it simple. So who we got on? There's a few people on. It's not too bad. Anyways, so yeah, this is my afternoon. I've been running around like mad. I'll step in the other room for a minute. Grab my water. Luckily, this wireless mic does a pretty good job. So I'll give you guys an idea of what's been going on. Let's see. You take a sip of water. I've been playing with the X-Carve a lot more lately. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I actually do some woodworking. The fun thing is the kids really enjoy doing it too. So this is we were playing around this weekend. Made one of the Mayan calendars, and I can't take a whole lot of credit for this. This design's on the Inventables website. I just had to tweak how I make it. It's interesting. Working with wood is very similar to working with like plastics, in my opinion. So like this one, the first time I cut it, I noticed the width of cut was different on one side than the other. Well, it's because it was bowed a little bit, and so it I actually ran through and did a spiral, pattern to, surface the whole thing flat, and then reran the whole thing. But it actually works out pretty well. Not bad for some plywood I had sitting around. So, fun stuff like that. Duncan, welcome. But yeah, so hundreds of these magnets, and as soon as I can afford to get a new bar puller, I will. I mean, there's nothing, can't say there's nothing wrong with this. Nice, throwing stuff around. The bar puller that I got, it's about half the cost of the one that I should have gotten. And, it's an aluminum body, everything was fine, it wasn't that big a deal, but the fingers were also made of aluminum, which meant it didn't have the same clamping pressure, it didn't have the same kind of plastic behavior, right? So it didn't want to move. Unfortunately, what happens is I'd tighten it up enough to where it would grip, and then it would deform the aluminum, and it would no longer have the clamping pressure. So yeah, now I've just got this thing going. Well, I might try and just make some new fingers for it out of like tool steel or something like that. Should work. It's just time, especially knowing that there's a really nice bar puller out there that I want to get. Actually, maybe I can find it. I'll show you guys. We'll see if yeah, buy once, cry once. You're right. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see here. Get just oh, you can just see the top of my head. It's awesome. Easy puller. That's it. Let me change angles here so you can see what I'm looking at. So this is the bar puller that I want to get, and yeah, as you can see, it's not cheap, right? But what's really nice about this is all of this is automatic, right? You don't have to make any changes. It just will automatically set up. The tensioning on it, everything. The other part that I noticed, the grooving and the where it holds. Again, it should hold on very, very well. So this is the company that makes them. We got videos of watching it. So if you guys want to see how it works, check out Easy Puller online. Good place to check them out. It's kind of neat because you'll see how they've got the different diameters in here, and they literally come in. It unlocks, it pulls it out from one, moves to the next, and just kind of rotates through. And you didn't have to make any changes to code or any changes to the setup. So some real benefits to it. So yeah, if you're looking for a bar puller, this one is really good. And I've only heard good things about it. Actually, I was talking to Jason Pulvermacher, and if you guys don't know Jason, he makes a lot of the videos for Tormach. And when they were doing the new collet closer and all of that, he was looking for a bar puller, and he basically said, that's it. We choose this one, there's no other options, and so it's kind of neat. But yeah, so you can get it from Tormach. I didn't look to see what Tormach charges. So it's $5.95 there. Yeah, it's $5.95. So, and it's actually not a bad price overall, but yeah. Don't leave my porn tab. Yeah, okay, funny guy. My porn tabs. This is my porn tabs. My channel dashboard. Okay. Anyways, loading more material. So, the other thing that I did today is, actually I'll show you. These are the new design. So it's the larger magnets, but I added a radius on here to help with the press fit. So new design, new setup, but I also started optimizing some of my code, and I moved tools around to simplify tool changes and things like that, because the Tormach tool changer on the lathe only goes one direction. And so I found that I was going all over, you know, back around and around. So I reordered the tools to optimize things there. And yeah, the first batch that I ran like that, thinking everything was lined up right, because they were already tools in there that I was using. All I did was just reorder them. My offsets were wrong. My center offsets were wrong, because I had actually gone to a smaller drill size to get a tighter press fit on the brass, and my holes were oversized. Like the first batch that I made, the first 5 or 6 or so that I made, it didn't work. So I actually had to do, I had to reset all of that, which, you know, I mean, it slowed me down, but it's not that big a deal. You get your axial dial indicator out and it worked that way. But yeah, I made a video of it today just for grins, but hopefully I'll get that out soon. Let's see, let's take a look at the chat real quick. Anything new? Nope. All right. I don't know if I can do this today. I'll see if I've got an extension. I might be able to hook up a second camera and, you know, give you a better view of what I'm doing. The desk that I'm broadcasting from right now, this is actually a desktop machine. Typically I broadcast from a laptop so I can move around and do things, but this machine is my workhorse. It's a quad-core i7 with 32 gig of RAM and, you know, just all kinds of stuff. But hey, Quinn. Let's see. Yep, I thought I recognized that sound. So yeah, this is where a bar puller is definitely helpful, because what I've got code written. I'll have to rewrite it, but basically I put in the total number of parts that I'm going to make and press a button, right? And it loops through, cycles through, and does makes all the parts, right? So it's smart enough. It knows, okay, I parted it off. I open the clamp on the collet, use the bar puller, come over, grab it, pull it out to a set distance, clamp it, pull the bar puller off, and then run the part again. It's kind of it's actually not a complicated set of code. If that's something that people are interested in, I'll be glad to go over that. But yeah, the idea with any machine like this is to let the machine do the work while you're doing other things, like babbling away on a live stream. You know. But yeah, so I will definitely, once I get the new bar puller, do that. Actually, that's partly why I'm trying to get these magnets out, right? And I don't know how many. I don't make a big deal about this, but I do have a Patreon channel, or a Patreon setup, Patreon page, I guess would be what it's called. And Zach, I know you're on it, but so we actually went through the process of what it is to bring a product to market, right? So we did the design, the initial code, talking about using bar pullers and things like that in the Patreon side of things, so that people would get an idea of what does it really take to do something like this. And then the idea was the magnets would help self-fund things, right? So it's $600 for this bar puller. I want the sale of the magnets to fund the bar puller, right? Same thing. I teach the Titans of CNC Academy. I want the sale of the magnets and things like that to fund that activity. I don't charge people for that. I know. I don't know what all the other small groups do. I know people that run a couple of them, and they're basically doing a cost recovery model, which is kind of what I do. I sprung for some of the material, but I just go ahead and, you know, so far I've just kind of covered things. But yeah, it's, you know, I'm trying to, it's tough. I want to do good things. I want to help people, but at the same time, trying to do it all out of pocket is difficult because I can't let it impact my family. So I thought having a product would be a good way to do that. So the you know, hence the magnets. It's funny. I got a message. I guess it was yesterday or today, from the person who bought the very first set of magnets that I made, and these were the hand done ones that I did on my old South Bend lathe. He's like, yeah, had them for 5 years, and still, you know, still going strong. And that was the first design that I did. And this is a guy that, if I remember right, he's a pipeline welder. He's up in Canada, and it's kind of cool. So it was neat to hear that they're out there and still doing well. Let's see. Better content. Oh, well, thanks, Zach. I appreciate that. I'm not great at Patreon. There are some people who are amazing at it. I try to keep it different than what I present to the world. Yeah, it's, you know, this is an area where, as a business owner, I struggle because I'm not great at marketing myself, or, you know, I don't toot my own horn. I'm like, hey, look at all this great stuff I've got and all these things that I do, and I'm not good at that. You know, and usually, like, I do these live streams, but it's at events, right? So I go to the Bar Z Bash, and everybody's out there doing all their, you know, all their stuff, and I'm not, right? Same thing. I went to go to the Land Fest, and you know, everybody's out there doing all their things, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll see you guys. So it's an area I could definitely improve on. Just never been good at that. Typically, I'm behind the scenes making things happen. So, yeah. Once upon a time, I actually had to be in front of everybody all the time. I don't mind it. I'm just not as good at it. There's a lube point here. I've gotta do that too. All these little things that go into making the operation run smoothly. Okay, so what do we got? Excuse me. Yeah, still haven't quite gotten over this cough. While we're doing that, more screaming equals more success. Yeah. Let's swing this around to the other side of the shop. We'll get something else done while we're at it. Too far. There we go. All right. This is top secret stuff, so I can't really show you too closely what it is. But we got a package to go out. I have been making prototype parts for another Instagram guy out there in the world, and these parts are so overdue to him. Thankfully, he wasn't really in any hurry. The first batch that I made, I screwed up the mailing address, and they came back to me. I only made like 2 pieces, but I had a sheet of material on the table, and I thought, you know what, let's hook them up. So rather than doing single piece prototypes, I made them, you know, 10 of each. So if these work, which I've actually already tested some of them on my own setup, and I know they work, he's got some work that he wants to do to personalize them and make them his own, which makes perfect sense. But yeah, he could actually turn right around and sell these parts. I think they're gonna work. Now he might change his design a little bit, which, you know, happens whenever you have prototypes. But sorry, I got my back to you guys, and I'm far from the computer, so if you're typing, I can't see anything. But trying to get some of these little things here ready to get out the door. Yeah, it sounds like the lathe has finished its run. We'll swing it back around. Got the brother here. Let's see. You could run a lower third on the live stream advertising your magnets. Yeah, I really should. To date, I have relied on word of mouth. That's really what it boils down to. And I shouldn't. I need to advertise better. All right, let's see. Anything else? Easy puller. Sounds like an infomercial stump puller. Yeah. Excuse me. All right, hey. Top tool. How's it going? All right, so I'm doing a bunch of things here. Let me swing this back around. I've got parts running in the lathe. I am packaging up some super secret prototype stuff for somebody else. We'll see if he watches this channel or not. I know he does. I don't know if he's on today. It sounded like he had his hands full. But, yeah. Get this out the door finally. It sat around once it came back to me and I made the other parts. This package sat around. And these parts basically just sat in the tumbler for, I don't know, 2 weeks. Then they started to rust a little bit, so I had to clean them up, and it's my own fault. Got really sick and nothing got done in that time frame. That's the fun part of being a solopreneur. I could use some regular help around here. Eventually I will. All right, D&J Machine. Hey, I saw your video today talking about this very machine right here. Well, yours, but yeah, I need to get that. So you missed the conversation earlier. I was talking about the easy puller. I need to get that bar puller, man. The puller that I have is crap, and it's not working anymore. So I definitely need to get that easy puller. Because that's the one that you have, right? If I remember right, you're using the easy puller. And I need to fix some of these lube points and all kinds of stuff that, but yeah, so I've got parts on right now with a 2-minute cycle time, so, or 1 minute and 43 seconds or something like that. So I'm having to run back and forth. Good times. Let's see, what else? See who else is on right now. Okay. So, let's just move this box. Yeah, we'll do it over here. Hope nobody gets motion sickness as I'm running back and forth like that. So we've got our postal service stuff here. Everything is closed in North Carolina right now, or it will be tomorrow, so I'm not sure I should really be worrying too much about getting this out the door, but if I don't get it packaged, it's never going to make it out the door, and that's just not okay. Thankfully, he's been busy enough with his other stuff that it wasn't a big deal. Ooh, that's heavy. All right. But, now take us to the vehicle lift. You know what? The lift is, I've got somebody coming to look at it. I've actually got 2 or 3 people who want the lift. And yeah, the lift will definitely fund that. But yeah, that puller definitely, it's worth the money. I hate these things. They never work right for me. I don't know. I know a lot of guys are like masters with tape dispensers. I am not. I am not that guy. But just want to make sure that this thing doesn't go anywhere. All right, good. That's good. It can get labeled and out the door. Yeah. You know, one thing that I'd really like to see, so I've got a couple of people who have reached out to me about my projects here. One guy, man, that thing is just not quite, like I said, I gotta get this lubrication working right. One guy actually, so there's two things that I want to do. The one came up with an idea to make a bar pusher. And you know, servo driven, which could be interesting. Not sure where that'll go, but yeah, so that could work, you know, is go to a bar pusher mechanism. You know, I looked into that, I thought about it, and actually I brought it up on the Patreon side too, because I've got room and I can move some of this stuff around. You know, I don't have to leave it this way. But, you know, we could hook something up very similar to what the CL1 is, the Haas CL1, where it's using basically an air cylinder to push the material through, right? There's an adapter that you can put onto the controllers to give you, so it's just a little USB I/O connector, right? So it lets you do more inputs and outputs. The other thing that I'd really like to do for this is it's just a parts catcher, right? Figure out some sort of parts catcher on this so that it's a little easier to do, especially when I'm doing, you know, 100 of these things. George, I hope you are doing okay, man. I saw, what'd you get, like 10 inches of snow? Is that what you had? So I hope you're doing all right. I saw you at least dug your way to the shop. So hopefully you're doing all right. Yeah, I should be parting it off here in a second. So yeah. Must verify that pusher is retracted. Okay. That'll be interesting. I wonder what's going on with that. That'd be interesting. Key to tape dispensers is the right tension and quality tape. Yeah, that's true. Some interesting comments. So any ideas from the crowd as to a parts catcher? And I don't know if Robin, so Robin Renzetti has one of these as well, and he's done some amazing stuff with his. How much bar do I have? I've got enough. He has done, I mean, he's made his, he's just amazing. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I'd like to see something like that. No, not one, it's stuck in spindle and spinning. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So the way that the Haas ones do it is they're actually on bearings. So if they spin, it doesn't rub, it doesn't do anything. It's all internally suspended in bearings or plastic bushing. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, if the servo-driven one, it would definitely be if I had to think through the way it would work from a logic perspective, we'd send a command to tell it to unlock this, so we'd move the head to the right spot, tell it to unlock the collet, we'd tell the servo to move some specified amount. Now I don't know if the servo can look for maybe a resistance factor in there. So once it reaches it and hits it, it could stop automatically and then retract, and then we'd have to have some signal to send it back. It's that, or I'm having to give it this array of n+1 back and forth. It's a lot of code to write, but I don't know. Grimsmo had one on his front. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and see about what he did then. I could text him, but he's so busy. It's impossible to, it's almost impossible to keep up with him. Both of the Johns are great guys, more than willing to help with projects and all kinds of things. They will both give freely of their time, but they're also ridiculously busy. And I hate to interrupt. All right, another question for you guys, and this is one that I've noticed. This is really what kind of clued me in on the bar puller having some problems. The the bar stock that I've got, it's not precision ground, but it's pretty, like when I take measurements along it's just 36 inches, it's pretty uniform, right? But for whatever reason, at certain times in the stock, there's more drag than others. And I don't know if that's because it's just not precision ground and there's a section of it that might be a thou over or something, or a couple thou over. It's more pronounced on aluminum than it is on the brass. The brass, it's fine. It's not, well, it happens, but not terribly. On aluminum though, there's times that I get aluminum that might be 7/1000ths, which from a 5C collet, 7/1000ths is, you know, might as well be half a mile. So yeah, I don't know. Is that something you guys run into or not? So Daniel's saying, oh, so Duncan's saying he had a pill bottle. Oh, well, yeah, this stuff was really small. I'd need something a little bigger. And realistically, I'd want something similar to what the bigger machines have from a parts catcher, something that comes out, actuates at a certain time, and then comes back in. I wouldn't want it to, I don't think I could get away with the pill bottle technique. Oh, yeah. I was wrong, it's 1 minute and 45 seconds. I could probably get that down another 10 or 15 seconds if I moved where the tool is that is doing profiles. So my profile and parting tools are in the wrong order. Right now, the parting tool is tool 7 and my profiling tool is tool 8. And again, like I was saying earlier, it's got to cycle all the way around to get to those. So small you couldn't see the parts, yeah. Yeah, it is pretty small. Well, yeah, so this is, you know, this is how I spend my free time, right? You know, it's come in here and do this kind of stuff. So, yeah. Once this bar is done, I will actually head in. I mean, the idea, what I'd love to be able to do, and this is why I want the bar puller in there, I'd love to be able to load up a bar and walk away and go inside and play with the kids and come back in an hour and be done. But yeah, a little at a time. So a lot of times what we do is, you know, we've got the other part of the building is we'll be back and forth. So I might have them in there working on stuff. And in the other room, I've got a TV and a recliner and all kinds of stuff. So it's much more relaxing for the kids. They can hang out, whatever, you know, get some out of my wife's hair for a little while. They'll come out here, play. They'll, you know, we've got the 3D printer in there. There's the X-Carve in there. But, you know, there's the TV and Apple TV and all that stuff. So, yeah. Tonight, however, they are inside now. They've been running around all day. They're warming up, and then I think the idea is to do a movie night tonight. I'm not sure what we're going to watch. We've had some aborted starts to movies and then losing interest because everybody wanted to go outside and play. But now that it's just, you know, well, the sun's gone down at this point, but they got cold and wet. So, all right. I got your text. For the nameless person who sent me a text, I got your text. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, good times. So one thing that I noticed, sometimes when this opens, and again, once I get it lubed and it's a little better, I've noticed sometimes it throws the material forward. Depends on how much material is in there. It's kind of funny. It just happened to do it that time, which caught me. It's like, there. I mean, it just needs the slightest tap to lock in place. So I know that's just a matter of getting some things lubricated properly. All right. Making sure everything's good here. Got phone too. All right, yeah, so I think we're probably reaching the end of this stream today. Almost the end of the bar. I am, again, I'm a lot better, but I'm still struggling. So probably shouldn't be talking too much longer. At least I'm not popping cough drops every 30 seconds like I was there for a while. I did want to say thank you, for all those of you who are watching today. I do appreciate you joining. If you haven't done so, click that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Yeah. And if you had any questions, though, if there's anything that you wanted to know about what we talked about today, about bar pullers, about running CNC machines, that's what I do on my channel. I'd be glad to answer questions. I do my best to answer every comment that comes in. I'm still small enough that I can do that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate everybody being here, and I'm gonna wrap this one up. So y'all have a great evening, or for some of you, it's already Monday morning. But thank you very much, and I'll see you again real soon.